My friends, my esteemed colleagues, my fellow architects of the New World Order, we gather here as our forefathers did in the quiet heart of power, far from the noise of the masses. Look around you. This chamber has witnessed the turning of ages, absorbing the whispers of kings and the plots of empires. Tonight, we add our own chapter to that silent history. We stand on the edge of a new era, one not built on war, but on the quiet, willing compliance of the masses. Tonight, we celebrate a victory so complete, its subjects believe it was their own idea. They call it freedom. They call it choice. We call it control. For centuries, we have built an empire not of land, but of the mind, not of swords, but of desires. We have turned the world into a marketplace, making every man, woman, and child a willing participant in their own subjugation. We have given them a new God, one that demands not prayer, but purchase, not salvation, but status. Tonight, we celebrate the silent, perfect conquest of the human will. The age of consumerism, the greatest religion ever conceived. The old ways, whip, sword, threat, are crude and breed resistance. Our method is more elegant, voluntary compliance. We build a cage of personal choices, a prison constructed by the prisoners themselves. The people will believe they are building a sanctuary, not a cell. They will police themselves, surrendering freedoms with a sigh of relief. Our genius is subtlety. We guide their hands as they chain themselves, convinced it's for their own good. Imagine a world where every command is a suggestion, every restriction a benefit. They will trade autonomy for convenience, privacy for security. Our power will be ambient, woven into the fabric of their lives, unseen but essential. We plant seeds of thought, nurture them, and watch as they blossom into social norms. The most effective control is never recognized as control at all. Tonight, I unveil the mechanics of this silent symphony, the process by which we lead humanity into a future they desire. Pay close attention, for you are the conductors of this masterpiece. What is this new religion? It is called consumerism, a simple name for a profound belief. The most effective faith ever introduced because it requires no deep thought, no true sacrifice. It promises heaven on earth, delivered to your doorstep in 2 business days, more things, more status, more fleeting moments of satisfaction, a bottomless hunger that can never truly be filled. The masses pray to the god of the market, confess desires to a search engine, and find community in brand loyalty. Our greatest achievement, hiding chains in plain sight and calling them accessories. Listen up. Imagine a religion where the holy book is your credit card statement and prayers are whispered at the cash register. This is the church of consumerism. We know we can't just tell them to buy more. We need them to believe it's their destiny. So, we created a system, a Holy Trinity, to spread the gospel of get more. First, the pastor connects their soul to their shopping cart, preaching that God wants you to be rich. Next, the rapper, the prophet of cool, turns brands into holy relics. Finally, the politician rewrites the rules to make endless consumption not just possible but necessary. Each has a role, each has a script. And they're the congregation, always passing the collection plate. We shall do all of this in broad daylight, on their phone, their TV, even in their place of worship. We elites outsource the sales pitch. Spiritual leaders become salesmen. Artists become billboards. Politicians become floor managers. You see, our master plan is to make wanting things feel like a virtue. Today, we're pulling back the curtain only for you, who have joined us today, to see how the magic trick is done. We have trained our agents well. We'll follow the money, the message, and the manipulation system in which we have designed to snare them into debt. From the pews to the studio to the halls of power, this is how we sell the Goyim a lifestyle, one sermon, one song, and one bill at a time. Let's get into it. To build this religion, we studied the architecture of human weakness. The ancient texts identified 3 gateways: the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. These are not sins to be avoided, but tools to be exploited, the pillars of our control. We did not invent these desires. We amplified and weaponized them. First, the lust of the flesh, the craving for comfort and pleasure. We fill their world with addictive foods, market comfort, and commodify every sensation. They chase gratification, leaving no energy for higher pursuits. Next, the lust of the eyes, the desire for beauty and novelty. We created a world of endless spectacle, advertising, social media, product design, training their eyes to always want more. Their possessions are never enough. The next new thing is always just out of reach. Finally, the pride of life, the need for status and recognition. We built hierarchies of brands and possessions, making every purchase a desperate attempt to rise above others. They climb a ladder of consumption, forever seeking validation that only the next expensive object can provide. How do we deliver our sermons? Through the most powerful altar ever created, the screen. Television, computers, smartphones, these are our pulpits, pouring our ideology directly into their minds, slowly pulling them into the pit. From waking to sleep, they are bathed in the holy light of the screen. The content we create, movies, shows, viral videos, serves a single purpose: to reinforce our values. We show them lives of glamour and luxury, promising this could be you. Characters solve problems with purchases, stories and advertisements become inseparable. Entertainment bypasses critical thought. When entertained, their defenses are down. We show them that happiness is a beautiful home, success is a fast car, love is a diamond ring. The screen becomes their window to the world, but we control the view. They binge-watch our sermons, scroll through our psalms, and share our parables. They believe they are relaxing, escaping. In truth, they are being indoctrinated. Each hour spent in front of a screen reinforces the lesson. The world of consumption is simple. Your desires can be met, your emptiness filled. Just reach for your wallet. Every religion needs its holy days and rituals. We understood this from the beginning. We took their ancient traditions and hollowed them out, turning sacred days into our most profitable ones. Their holidays are now our harvest. Consider Christmas. Once spiritual, now a festival of shopping and debt. The pressure to buy and give the perfect gift is more powerful than any doctrine. This pattern repeats. Easter is about chocolate, Valentine's Day about diamonds. We invented new holy days: Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Prime Day. Pure commerce celebrated with religious fervor. The masses line up for hours, not for blessings, but for discounts. These rituals create a powerful, cyclical rhythm of spending that drives our economy and captures souls. When families exchange gifts, they participate in a sacrament of consumerism, teaching children that love is expressed through material goods. Their most cherished memories are now inextricably linked to consumption. Our grand design is no modern invention. We are stewards of an ancient plan. Even our words are deliberate. Consumerism, Con-Sumer-ism, the ism of the Sumerians, with a con, a trick. We've taken the principles of civilization, hierarchy, economy, control, and perfected them through deception. Sumer built ziggurats for gods who demanded tribute. We build skyscrapers and malls for a god who demands a portion of every paycheck. We are the inheritors of Sumer's ambition, but our empire is global, our control absolute. We call ourselves a Congress, not the public spectacle of democracy, but a true coming together of the powerful. While they play at governance, we, the Congress of Shadows, direct the true course of events. Our wordplay is a reminder of our legacy and purpose, embedding the truth of our power in their language. They speak of consumerism and Congress daily, blind to their deeper meaning. We are the new Sumerians, and our con has remade the world in our image. The genius of our plan is its appearance, an evil that seems fair, a tyranny masked as freedom. We do not rule with iron fists, but through seduction. Our system is so appealing, so desirable, that the masses beg for their own chains. We offer choice, an illusion central to our deception. They can choose between 100 brands, 1,000 shows, 1,000,000 websites, but we control all the choices. Their freedom is a curated menu. Every option leads back to us. We frame consumption as empowerment. You have the power to choose. Express yourself. You deserve it. These slogans transform submission into self-fulfillment. When they buy, they feel powerful, unique, successful, never realizing they're paying with their labor, time, and soul. We've made debt seem normal, called it credit. Made destruction seem necessary, called it growth. Made endless work seem noble, called it ambition. We've rebranded every vice as a virtue, building a world where doing the wrong thing feels right. That is our masterpiece, a deception that will stand for 1,000 years. The old religions were our only true competitors. They had to be neutralized. A direct assault would have created martyrs. We chose subtlety. We hollowed out their temples from within, offering partnership and prosperity. We commercialized their holy days, convinced them that bigger, more expensive celebrations honored their God. We sponsored festivals, advertised in their publications, and wrapped sacred symbols in our logos. The cross and crescent moon became backdrops for sales events. Their leaders, eager for influence, became our unwitting allies. We infiltrated their message, promoting the prosperity gospel faith leads to wealth. God wants you to be rich. Their sermons became about unlocking abundance, not redemption. Now, thriving temples are those that have embraced our ways. Cafes, bookstores, multimedia presentations. They still use the old words, God, faith, salvation, but the meaning has been replaced. The spiritual core is gone, replaced with the mechanics of consumerism. The Trojan horse has done its work, the city has fallen. Welcome to the megachurch of Pastor Prosperity. Here, faith is measured by your donation, and poverty is a curse to be prayed away with your wallet. The pastor links holiness with material success. His luxury car and mansion are evidence of God's favor. Tithing becomes an investment. Sow a seed of $100, reap a harvest of $1,000. Religious holidays, now peak shopping seasons, blessed by the pulpit. Even debt is rebranded as a leap of faith. The pastor's reward? Wealth, influence, and a seat at the table with the elites. He sells hope, but the path to that dream is paved with purchases. He's not just saving souls, he's creating customers. Now meet MC Spenda, the prophet of cool. His music videos are 4-minute commercials for the Good Life Lamborghinis, Rolexes, designer brands. His lyrics are shopping lists turning brands into mantras. Step 1, drop a brand name in a hit song. Suddenly, a $10 bottle of water is a status symbol. Step 2, social media is a 24/7 highlight reel of consumption. Unboxing sneakers, private jets, designer mansions. Step 3, endorsement deals. He becomes the brand, launching his own lines and cashing in big. The elites reward him for moving product, not just making music. Fans buy what he promotes to feel closer to his lifestyle. He's not just an artist, he's a lifestyle curator. His influence turns followers into a direct-to-consumer sales channel. The result? A powerful feedback loop of desire and acquisition. MC Spenda sells identity, belonging, and the dream of buying your way in. At the top sits Senator Sterling, the high priestess who writes the rules. She makes endless consumption logical, even patriotic. Step 1, tax cuts for corporations and the wealthy, more money for ads, more luxury spending. Step 2, deregulate advertising and finance. Ads everywhere, easy credit, buy now, pay later schemes. Debt is rebranded as empowerment. Step 3, direct spending incentives, stimulus checks, tax credits, all with the message, go out and spend. Saving is unpatriotic. Buying is your civic duty. Her reward? Campaign donations and power. Her policies create the playground for the pastor and rapper to thrive. It all appears to serve the public, but it's really about fueling endless growth. The pastor, the rapper, the politician, they're the pillars of the Church of Consumerism. Senator Sterling passes a tax cut, brands pay MC Spenda, his song blows up, and Pastor Prosperity's congregation feels the pull. The politician creates the economic weather, the rapper seeds desire, the pastor makes it rain. Each role legitimizes the others, creating a self-sustaining loop. Consumption becomes identity, you are what you buy. Our desires are manufactured, packaged, and sold by experts. The most successful marketing campaign in history. Next time you hear a sermon about wealth, see a luxury-filled music video, or hear a politician talk about consumer confidence, pause. Ask, who benefits? Who's being served? You're not just a member of the congregation, you're the foundation, and the whole thing is built on your wallet. Our journey begins with a simple request, self-reporting. We ask for a small piece of data, nothing alarming, just a digital census or health survey. It's framed as a tool for their benefit. Better services, more safety, greater efficiency. The language is soft, encouraging, never obligatory. Sharing becomes a civic duty, a contribution to the greater good. Each click, each form normalizes surrendering information and builds a habit of obedience. This provides us with data, their habits, fears, desires, fuel for our models. We make it effortless, even enjoyable, gamified, rewarded, celebrated. Self-reporting becomes a source of pride, a public declaration of virtue. The rules are simple, the threshold low, just a click, a status update. Refusal seems paranoid, even antisocial. Why not help create a safer, more personalized world? Thus, we build our foundation on the logic of convenience and incremental participation. Once self-reporting is habit, we introduce the illusion of choice. We offer manageable decisions, option A or B, both leading to our goal but giving them a sense of agency. They feel consulted, not commanded, transforming them into active participants. We reward early adopters, faster service, exclusive access, small incentives. Compliance becomes beneficial, hesitation means missing out, not punishment. One path is smooth, the other full of friction. We create a perception of partnership, using polls and feedback to simulate dialogue. Cosmetic changes based on their input cement the belief they co-created the system. Manufactured consensus is powerful. They defend the system as their own. Trust is our currency, cultivated with calm, empathetic communication. Every initiative is framed as a collective endeavor. They trust the system because it speaks their language and appears to serve their interests. This trust lubricates the gears of control, guiding them toward more restrictive choices. Humans fear isolation more than oppression. We harness this by amplifying the visibility of compliance. Media reflects a society where everyone participates. Join your friends, be part of the movement. The message is everywhere. The desire to belong becomes the whip. They enforce conformity themselves. Dissent is framed as a social failing, not a political act. The community ostracizes nonconformists. Social isolation is the punishment. Decentralized enforcement citizens become vigilant enforcers, reporting and shaming noncompliance. Society becomes a self-correcting machine, squeezing out deviation for the sake of harmony. Imagine living your whole life inside a Skinner box, except you don't realize you're in one. For those who've never heard of it, a Skinner box is a little lab device used by scientists to train rats or pigeons. Press a lever, get a pellet. Repeat until the animal's every move is shaped by rewards and punishments. Now, what if I told you that the world we designed for them to live in, the one driven by endless shopping, is just a giant Skinner box? Here's where it gets interesting, because in this setup we aren't just the scientists, we're more like the gods of consumerism. We create a system where satisfaction is always just out of reach, keeping them pushing that lever for the next big thing to reach that high. The first layer is all about psychological warfare, manipulating the way they think, feel, and even see themselves. Through relentless advertising, they're told that what they have isn't enough. There's always a new and improved version, a cooler brand, a smarter gadget. Their self-worth? It gets tangled up in their shopping cart. Belonging, status, even happiness. They're all hooked onto what they own. But it's not just about desires. Our system knows how to poke at their anxieties too. Feeling stressed? Buy something? Feeling left out? There's a product for that. The quick fix keeps them coming back, never satisfied but always hopeful that the next purchase will finally do the trick. On the economic side, it's about creating dependency. Easy credit, buy now pay later plans, and a culture that normalizes debt, keeping them locked in a cycle. The fear of financial ruin makes challenging the system almost unthinkable. If that's not enough, engineered crashes shake out the competition and put even more power in our hands, the few. And then there's the ultimate trick, redefining what life is about. Traditional values like community, family, or spiritual purpose start to fade, replaced by the Holy Trinity of buy, collect, display. The god of consumerism becomes the center of identity, the reason to get up in the morning. All of this runs on the engine of supply and demand. We supply the ideology, the products, and the narrative. The rest of them generate the demand, not just by buying things, but by craving the status, the belonging, and the fleeting sense of fulfillment we promise as their gods. The market equilibrium isn't just economic, it's psychological. It's a balance where just enough hope keeps them running, but not enough to ever let them rest. And what's the end game here? A population that's busy, distracted, and easy to control. When your deepest needs are funneled into the pursuit of stuff, resistance becomes almost unthinkable. The Skinner box isn't just a cage for rats, it's a blueprint for society, designed so that they press the lever, chase the pellet, money, and never notice who built the box. Our plans are magnificent. With trust and social proof in place, we tighten the ratchet. Requests become expectations, voluntary apps become requirements. Each new restriction is introduced during a crisis: health, security, economic. The ratchet moves one way, freedoms surrendered are never returned. Measures are temporary, but the infrastructure remains. People invested in the system resist dismantling it. Problem, reaction, solution. We allow or create a problem. The public demands action and we provide the pre-planned solution. Each cycle adds another layer to their velvet cage. Rewards for compliance grow, consequences for non-compliance become exclusion. It's not punishment, it's protecting the community. Language is neutral, bureaucratic. The system denies access, not us. We remain blameless, mere administrators of the world they helped build. The process repeats, each step feeling logical and necessary. Now we shape society itself. With compliance normalized, we influence personal decisions, like family size. No need for harsh laws. We guide choices through cultural narratives. Media and incentives celebrate small families, career focus, environmental virtue. Economic and social rewards align with our goals. The choice always appears theirs. In regions needing labor, we reverse the incentives. They adjust family planning based on pressures we quietly manipulate. This is our ultimate power to shape humanity's future, not by force, but by engineered desirability. The plan endures only if they believe it was their idea. Their servitude must feel like liberation, their cage a sanctuary. Our influence must be invisible, never seen, never named. The system must appear organic, a spontaneous evolution. Any hint of a guiding hand would shatter the illusion. Our greatest trick is convincing them we do not exist. The threat is not their resistance, but our own hubris. Victory is silent. Our reward is a world remade in our image. Let them have their figureheads. We remain unseen. Voluntary compliance, social pressure, and the illusion of choice. These are our tools. Use them wisely, subtly, and never let them see the chains. Let them walk willingly into the future we design, convinced they are free. That is the final and most profound victory. Let's talk about the economic hitman, a real-life role that sounds like fiction. John Perkins, a former hitman, wrote a book exposing how these operatives work. Their weapon? Not guns, but spreadsheets and charm. Their mission convinced leaders of resource-rich countries to take on massive loans for unnecessary projects. The goal trapped nations in debt, making them puppets for powerful corporations and governments. It starts with targeting countries rich in oil, minerals, or forests. The hitman arrives as a helpful economist promising prosperity. They pitch grand projects, power plants, highways, industrial parks, painting a future of progress. But behind the smiles is a calculated plan to ensnare the country in debt. The offer looks generous, but it's a golden handcuff. The hitman befriends officials, tailors the pitch to their ambitions, and seduces with economic jargon. Every chart and promise are part of a script designed to end with the country owing billions. In the end, the nation's resources and sovereignty hang in the balance. It's not about charity, it's about control. This is the playbook of the economic hitman. Now comes the math, completely fraudulent forecasts. The hitman produces glowing reports. Build this dam and your economy will soar. The numbers are pure fiction, but they convince leaders to accept huge loans. The projects are always massive and flashy. Superhighways, industrial parks, power grids. The point isn't usefulness, but expense. The bigger the loan, the deeper the debt. Here's the trick. The loan money never enters the country's economy. Contracts require hiring corporations from the lender's country. The money goes from a bank in New York to a company in Houston. The country just gets the bill. It's like being forced to hire your neighbor's cousin to build a pool you don't need. Corporations get rich, banks get a new debtor, and the country gets a useless project and crushing debt. The hitman sells this disaster as a golden opportunity. They're used car salesmen, but the lemon is a national crisis, and business is booming. The deal is signed, the bulldozers arrive, and the real damage begins. Foreign corporations build the projects, rarely hiring locals. Promised jobs vanish. Traditional economies are disrupted. Highways cut through farmlands, factories pollute rivers, and communities are displaced. People lose their livelihoods and are forced to migrate to cities. Urban migration creates a surplus of cheap labor, driving wages down. Independence is traded for dependence on low-wage factory jobs. The system is designed for exploitation, not prosperity. The social fabric unravels, cultures, languages, and traditions fade. The promise was progress, the reality is cultural collapse. A small elite profits, while the majority is left impoverished and disconnected. All financed by debt that's about to come due. The cycle is set. With people in cities and earning little, the next phase begins: consumer society. Media floods the airwaves with ads for cars, clothes, and gadgets, lifestyles out of reach for most. The message happiness is something you buy. Young people, cut off from tradition, are told Western consumerism is the only path. Banks push credit cards and loans, no money down, easy payments. People borrow to chase the dream, piling personal debt atop national debt. The result, a society trapped economically and psychologically. Community and self-sufficiency are replaced by individualism and consumerism. People are too busy keeping up with payments to question the system. The country's resources are siphoned away while everyone chases manufactured dreams. It's social control disguised as progress. Eventually, the country can't pay its debts. The lenders return, not with smiles but with demands. Enter austerity, drastic cuts to public spending, firing teachers and nurses, slashing healthcare and education. The poor suffer most, as social safety nets are dismantled. Next comes privatization, selling off water, electricity, and natural resources to foreign corporations for pennies. The nation loses control of its assets. The proceeds go to pay the debt. The trap is complete, permanent dependence, powerless government, and resources extracted for foreign profit. If leaders resist, the pressure escalates. Political threats, coups, even military intervention. The system always has an answer. The end result, a country stripped of sovereignty, culture, and future, all in the name of Congress. This is the final act of the economic hitman's playbook, and it's still happening today. And so we arrive at today, the year 2025. Look upon the world we have made, a triumph beyond the wildest dreams of our ancestors. We achieved global dominance not through war but through want, not through fear but through desire. The masses are peaceful, productive, obedient, chasing the carrots we dangle, fueling our power. They are so consumed by trivialities that they never question their reality. Our victory is quiet, but absolute. The soul of humanity has been traded for a dopamine hit, a fleeting thrill, a luxury logo. We've harvested their longings and sold them back as products, channeled their potential into a loop of earning and spending. They are free-range slaves, living in comfortable prisons of their own choosing. The system is self-perpetuating. Parents raise children in the faith, hand them screens, teach them brands before they can read. The religion is passed down more effectively than any ancient creed. We no longer need to steer it aggressively. The ship is on course, the crew happy to keep it there. Our work is done. We simply maintain the machinery and reap the rewards. So, tonight, let us raise a glass. To the architects before us, to the grand design, to the lusts and the fair-seeming evil, to the Congress of shadows and the legacy of Sumer. We've done more than conquer the world. We've remade its soul. The harvest is plentiful, and it will continue for centuries. The future is ours. It always was. Welcome to the empire and paradise we have built, my esteemed colleagues.